Here we're going to tie a dry fly called the rusty spinner. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with some rusty brown thread, and we're going to take 3 microfibettes here, and we're going to make the tips of these microfibettes as even as we can here. So it's going to take a little bit of working, and I'm using, you can either use brown or clear. The color of the microfibettes I don't think really matters too much. So let's go ahead and try to even these up if I can. And what we're going to try to do here is tie these in so they're on the top of the shank of the hook. This is probably the hardest part of the fly, is dealing with these tails. We're going to tie in these tails so that they're about the length of the shank of the hook. I'm going to tie them in, like I said, right on top of the shank. Take my thread all the way back to the bend. Now what we're going to do is we're going to prop these tails up, and I just kind of take my fingernail and just kind of push underneath the tails. That'll help prop them up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to try to split these tails. I'm going to do that by just taking my thread and I work my way in between them, but first I try to split them with my fingers. And you can get out a bodkin too, that really helps. Pull mine out here. There we go. And I usually work from my nearest side here on my side to the far side. So all I'm going to do is pull the near side microfibette to the side. I'm going to lay a wrap right behind it there, and that'll pull it off to the side. Then I'll do the same thing on this far side microfibette. That should pull it to the side as well. Use my needle here, pull that one up. And then what you can do is draw them both up. And we should have them roughly split. You can see there I have my 3 tails split. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to build up a little bit of a thread body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thread forward all the way to the thorax region, trim out those butt ends to that microfibette, then I'm going to take it back once more and I'm just going to build up a little bit of a taper. I'm going to have a little bump of thread there at the back, so I want to kind of blend all that in together. We're going to take our thread here up to that thorax kind of area. Where we're now ready for the wing. For that we're going to use some white McFlylon, and it comes in a big rope here, but that's way too much to use on this fly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split this rope up. So I just get a few fibers. I only need about a dozen fibers or so. It should be plenty. I'm going to trim that from the bundle or the clump. I like to tie mine a little more sparse, more so than bulky, so a dozen fibers is usually more than enough. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to figure 8 or kind of X-wrap this bundle into that thorax region here, right on top of the shank of the hook. Just like so. Once I've got several wraps, it should be tight enough. And then I'm ready to dub the thorax. And for the dubbing, I'm just going to use some Superfine dubbing in a rusty brown here, just kind of a rusty color to match the fly. And I'm just going to put enough of this dubbing on my thread to just barely coat the thread. I don't want to add too much. I kind of lick my fingers to get it to seat onto the thread. You can use dubbing wax if you like. I usually just use a little bit of saliva and that gets it done. Then what we're going to do is just build up a little bit of a thorax ball with this dubbing. I'm going to make a couple wraps right behind the wings. Then I'll take it forward and I'll make a couple of wraps also in front of the wings. And we'll add just a little bit more. It's better to add it in small amounts rather than just lay it all on in one big clump. What we want is just a little kind of a mini ball built up here. There we go. That should be about enough. Then what we can do is we can whip finish. And I can trim the wings. We're going to trim the wings so that they're about as long as the body, so I just kind of pull them back. Get in here with my scissors and give them a quick trim. And we essentially have our finished rusty spinner. You can see there with those wings splayed off to the side. It's indicative of the rusty spinner. Imitates a spent PMD or Trico. It can be tied in small sizes. I think this is a 20 we tied here. It can be tied from a size 14 all the way down to a 24. And you can get all the materials for this fly on our website at intheriffle.com.